Hey guys, so I know it's been a minute since I've recorded or uploaded anything, but Med-Surg has been just a little bit crazy, so I really haven't had much time to do anything. We took exam 2 a couple weeks ago. We take exam 3 this upcoming Tuesday, so I felt like this was a great opportunity to record like my midway point and talk about my experience so far in Med-Surg. Okay. All right, so Med-Surg so far, sorry, I have to sit with my feet up, it's just more comfortable. So far in Med-Surg, it's definitely been crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, I bombed my first exam in Med-Surg. So I got a 64, and that was like a huge deal to me because I've never gotten that low. So I started to freak out a little. So I went and saw my professor and was like, what did I do wrong? Like, I studied a lot, but I mean, our first exam was like really heavy on electrolytes, and that is like not my strong suit at all. So he reviewed it and he spoke to me about it. A lot of what I missed was electrolytes, like a huge majority of it. So that was like my downfall there. So like he was like, listen, like you need to brush up on it, but like you can't get stuck here. Like you can touch up on it after like Med-Surg or whatever, but you need to know the basics and what part of like of the body they affect, which I did. So he was like, just know that, and like over the break you need to get with somebody and you need to like this needs to click. And I was like, okay, whatever. So our next exam was just a couple weeks ago. Our exam 2, I can't remember right now, but I got an 80, and that was like, so 64 to an 80, that was a huge jump. So I changed my study habits because obviously what I was doing was not working for Med-Surg. So what I did was end up making like kind of like concept maps, but in flashcards, because concept maps, like there's way too much in there, and it's just like there's too much for me. Like I'm looking at the interventions, but then I'm looking at the meds, and I'm looking at like teaching and stuff. There's just too much. I get too distracted. I don't like it. So I do concept maps, but like each section I do in a flashcard, if that makes sense. So I did that. So I like really read like this, like Med-Surg you have got to read. Like reading is no joke. So I like went through and I like really made sure I read the book and I highlighted before class. Like I know I'm like a stickler on it, but like it's so important. So I read and then I highlighted and I made notes and flashcards on things that looked important, especially like the things that are like in warning text boxes. They have like the little flash next to it to like tell you that it's important. Make note cards out of that because for some reason it's important. So I did that, and then after I read everything and I made all my notes and I I made sure that I reviewed by myself. I then got together with a different study group than I normally do. And we went through and reviewed and reviewed and reviewed and constantly taught ourselves and asked questions. Oh, it was like the nervous system. That was our exam. So like MS, Parkinson's, like all of that crazy stuff. And then, yeah, it's like it was like nervous system, and it was strokes and migraine and seizures, all that stuff. So yeah, so we ended up teaching each other, and then we would ask each other questions that like randomly that we'd have to look up or notice like we need to pay attention to this. Then we would start doing practice questions together. So we would read the question, answer it in our heads, then we would discuss why we picked the answer and like our rationale behind ourselves. So that was that. And when you sometimes hear like if you got it wrong and you hear why they picked what they did and they were right, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So that's what we did, and I got an 80. So this upcoming exam is musculoskeletal, and then we have diabetes, and we have cardiac. And let me tell you, cardiac is hard. Like there's so much to know, so much about like the P waves, QRS, T, all that, like the dysrhythmias, how to treat them, medications, and like it's not bad because like cardiac, like you got your beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, all that, like they're the same for like all of your cardiac issues, but it's the doses that you have to know and like how they help that specific problem. So like it's not bad if you like know what the drug does, but you need to know like when you're using it for which like disease or problem or whatever you're fixing with it. So hopefully that our upcoming exam is on Tuesday, so I'm praying I know that. But so anyway, the beginning of Med-Surg was a little bit crazy. So it was like fail central. Like I failed my CPE, which was like our like lab tasks or like whatever, like piggyback, IV, like insert and all that stuff. And I failed IV insert. I was like, that's like the easiest thing ever. How did I fail that? But I just like, my mind was, I failed class. Like, I mean, my first exam, I was flustered, like all that kind of stuff. So I just think my mind just wasn't in the right place, and it was just like on a negative little path, and that just like brought me down. So I was like, I can't, like this can't happen. Like so you took your exam like the second or third weekend. So like I had like 9 more weeks to go. Like I didn't have time for this. Like this can't happen. So I know Med-Surg is a really hard class and stuff like that, and I know it gets better after this, but like I don't want to repeat Med-Surg. Like that was my biggest thing. So I was like, okay, like you gotta snap out of this, you gotta be confident in yourself, you gotta speak to somebody, you gotta go get help, and that's exactly what I did. I sat down with professors, I emailed like this success coordinator. I was like, what do I need to do? Like, this is what I'm doing so far, like help me. And so everybody did. And they're like, okay, like, is it a testing issue? Is it your studying habits? Are you seeing somebody? Like, do you like, is it anxiety? Like, what is it? So, and I did. So I ended up getting medicated for anxiety. I'm already medicated for ADHD. So let me tell you, being medicated for anxiety is like the best thing ever. Like, I'm like, not, like, I know, like, everybody's like, oh, like, try and bring it down, like, with natural things. Okay, I don't have time for that. I'm in nursing school. So give me medication. So they gave me a low dose of medication, and it made a huge difference. My only side effect is it makes me really drowsy later in the day. So like I'm going to bed really early, but I guess it keeps me on a sleep schedule, so I'm not complaining. You're supposed to take it every day, but for clinical days I don't take it because this is a 12-hour, I just can't, I'm too exhausted, and then I'm like, I can't drive if I'm tired, so I'm like scared to drive home, so I don't take it. But yeah, so this semester we are in the hospital. I'm like, I've definitely been in a couple situations where I'm like, okay, I'm not doing well in class, but like, this is why I will be a nurse. Like, I'm meant to be a nurse. Like, something happens in like clinical and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is why I want to be a nurse. Something like that happens, and like a couple times I'll just like pop, and you're like, I've got to do this. I've got to graduate. Like, I've got to kick ass. Like, I've got to tell everybody like, peace out, I'll see you later. Like, this is important. So that's what I did. Except for my anniversary with my boyfriend. I just forgot about it, I'm not gonna lie. Oops. And then we like made plans for the weekend. We had some fun, like had a couple drinks, went to eat, and then like I came back and studied. So yeah, that was my day. But that was like one weekend, and I was like, I should be reading, but it's okay, it's fine. I did fine. So yeah. So hopefully we have 2 more exams after this. We'll see how that goes. I really don't want to repeat, like, and my biggest fear is like, I tell people I'm in nursing school, I buy like a nursing turbis, or I buy like a nursing shirt, and then I don't get through nursing school. Like, that's like my biggest fear. Like, part of me is like, oh my gosh, like I started making these videos on YouTube, and I started like trying to like help people. Like, what if I don't even get through nursing school and all this doesn't help anybody? So that's my biggest fear. So I'm just gonna put it out there because these are things that go through my head and that might go through yours, because a lot of people have reached out. So hopefully this helps and gives you an idea. I just want to keep you like in the loop with what's going on and why I'm not recording. So we will see what happens from here on out. Pray for me because I need it on these exams. To the nursing gods, pray to all of them because I need all the luck I can get. So yeah, but I will update you guys at the end of the quarter, let you know how it goes. It could be good, it could be bad, because right now I'm failing still because I got a 64 and then the 80. And the average is out to a 72 and I need a 74 to pass. So I need like 2 80s to pass the next exam. So I'm studying like crazy, but I decided not to study tonight because I did pretty well today. So I'm hopefully going to get this uploaded and get it going. And I will eventually do fundamentals video, but like I don't have time for that right now. So hopefully like during my break between this quarter and next quarter, I'll be able to get that done. But all right, guys, I'll keep you in the loop. Thanks for watching, guys. I know I'm being weird, but you know, subscribe to my channel, send this to your nursing friends, like visit my Instagram, visit my website. All the links are in there.